Hello everybody, here we are today and we're going to be showing the Detroit Red Wings some love as they have started off the season very well. Now before we start, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So Detroit is having their best start in probably years. They are 5-1-1 through their first 7 games played in a team that this feels good. This feels kind of different than maybe some other years. The past almost decade have not been what you want for the team. They've been able to win the Stanley Cup since 2008. They haven't made the playoffs in 7 seasons. This start right here, this 5-1-1 start, could be an indicator that the playoff drought is over. And some things early on look really good here. The fact that they've been able to have 5 wins, obviously through their first 7 games. The fact that all 5 of those have been able to be multiple goal wins or multi-goal wins. And 3 of those, you really didn't even need an empty netter. You just already had a multi-goal win, kind of set up, ready to go there. And 2 of their losses, or their only 2 losses, I should say, are kind of promising because you lost to the New Jersey Devils, team that was 3rd in overall standings last year, team that very well could be one of the better teams this year. And then you lost in overtime to the Seattle Kraken. Seattle, a team that made the 2nd round of the playoffs last year, also a good thing. So these aren't losses to, say, a San Jose where you lose 7-0. That would be problematic. These are losses that I could say are victory losses. And what exactly is going well for Detroit early on? I would say the obvious answer here is their offense. Things seem to be clicking at a very high rate. They actually have the best goals for in the entire league, goals for per 60, I should say. So early on, I mean, we're not even an eighth of the way through the season. The offense seems to be doing really well. They actually have the most minutes in the league led. So basically, you score a goal and you lead 20 minutes over a team before they tie it up or whatever. That counts towards minutes that you're able to lead. They are 1st in the entire league right now. And one thing that we're seeing with this team is their ability to just bury other teams early on, whether that's the 1st or the 2nd, where they're able to score 3 or 4 unanswered goals. Maybe they score 2 in the 1st and then 2 in the 2nd, and in that time, the other team only scores 1. Maybe they kicked off the game where they only scored 1 goal. So Detroit's up 4-1 in the final frame, and they know that maybe they can do things a little bit differently. All one of those things that in the beginning of a season you would like to see continue to progress, because you like to be able to score a lot of goals. You like to be able to score a lot of goals early, and you like to be able to have a comfortable lead in the 3rd. Detroit right now kind of getting the sense that their offense could be definitely in the top half this year, maybe even top 10, top 5 maybe. And who has kind of been leading the charge here? Well, it is a hometown kid for them, that being Alex DeBrincat, and he obviously got traded over from the Ottawa Senators. Wondering how good he could be, because we know that the potential is there. To start off, things are going incredibly well. 9 goals through his first 7 games. That is the league lead. There are plenty of other capable guys here in the NHL that are able to score goals at will, and he is kind of in the mix of it right now. I believe he has 13 points in those first 7 games, so nearly 2 points per game. Incredible stuff, and you know that this is a guy that could probably go out there and give you 40 goals. He's almost at double digits, and they haven't even played double digits, so maybe we're looking at like a 50-point season, a career year for him in his first season with the team, and he obviously has been kind of the leading catalyst for the club. Also, their power play has looked really good to start out the season. This year it is 2nd best in the league, and while it is early, 41.4%. Now, is that going to be replicated? Absolutely not. But compared to what their power play was last season, where they were just a smidge above 20%, and they were kind of middle of the pack, I believe 17th in the league, I should say, for power play percentage. Even if they, dropped dramatically, but were able to stay above 30% or something like that, you really could see things kind of mesh into a really good point for the Red Wings, because if you're able to do what they've been able to do, which is get on the power play every single game, and they've scored in 5 of those, you're putting yourself in a good position to win. I've always said that if you are a team that, draws 5 penalties in 1 game and then scores 2 of them, that's good. But if you go 3 games without drawing any penalties, that's not really going to help you out that much over the broad scheme of things. Whereas Detroit is consistently getting on the power play and consistently making teams pay. So things right there are looking so good on the man advantage. We'll see how things shape up, because obviously 41%, that's not going to hold. But again, kind of like the brink. Could we see a big year on the power play where maybe they jump on into the top 10 or even higher? Remains to be seen. Dylan Larkin obviously has been a good thing for them. I believe he has 10 power play points It might be total points, but I think either way, it is right up there with some of the league leaders. Actually, I think he does have the league lead for power play points right now to kick off the year. A lot of those are assists, and you're actually looking at him having a little over half of what he had last season for power play assists in like 73 less games. So there's 70 some games left to play, looking at this probably being a career year for Larkin if things continue to hold up, especially on the power play. Things are looking so good, and what I love about Larkin's assists right now, a lot of them are primary assists, and then all of them are not related to DeBrincat. That was something that I kind of worried about, where maybe, looking at this and looking at how many goals that Alex has been able to score early on in this year, you would look at Larkin's total and say, well, yeah, his value is completely tied to that, and he can only dish out the puck to him. It's been able to go to other guys, so Larkin, again, in this spot where maybe he's going to have a good year. Watched an interview recently with him kind of saying he feels like he's ready to help this team again go forward. He is the captain, but we're probably looking at this being one of the best teams that he's been able to be on in his time here, or at least the potential to be one of the best teams that he's been on. I will say early on, there's obviously some things to work on here. Their 5-1-5 numbers don't look terrific. They are getting way more goals than they're expected to. They are not in a situation where they're dominating chances. High danger chances aren't in their favor either overall. But I am going to wait a little bit, and I might look into this a little bit deeper. I just kind of wanted to get this video out today, hyping up the Red Wings, if you will. But maybe part of it, again, deals into the fact that they are able to bury teams early in the first or the second period. So, maybe they take a period off, or they just play a little bit more safe because they want to be able to have a win. It's really tough to say if those 5-on-5 numbers hold throughout the whole season. That is absolutely going to be a problem, because if you're able to score goals at a way higher rate than you're expected to, you're going to need some top-tier playmakers. I do think Detroit does have some talent, but I don't think that this roster is so loaded that they are going to be able to be like 18th for expected goals and then be 7th for actual goals or something like that. Just kind of some random numbers I pulled from my head, but yeah, 5-on-5 play going to have to be better. I think their PK is going to have to be better as well. The numbers didn't look particularly great there. Seems to be that goaltending was kind of helping them out early on, but again, I'm going to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. We're not even 10 games into the season. Just some things to keep out for if things kind of fall on the wayside early on. However, I did want to say this. They are obviously in a great spot right now. They are second in the division. Of course, Boston has to be one of those undefeated teams that's keeping them from being at the top spot, but this feels like the most energized I've seen the Red Wings fan base since I've run my channel, since I've had my channel since 2020, and obviously I've been doing this 3 years, 4 season previews, all that, and this Red Wings side definitely has the most expectations. The 5-on-5 play is something to watch out for, but to me, they're winning. This is a fun thing right now, and they are taking advantage of the moment. You have teams like Florida, you have teams like Buffalo, you have teams like Ottawa that are, I don't want to say struggling because it's early in the year, and some of these teams are like 3-3 with 6 games played. But if Detroit can get out of the gates early and be able to win some games and get a little bit of a gap and then take care of business against these teams in some intra-divisional play, and make the playoffs, then you could say, okay, well, they don't have any excuses, those teams being Ottawa, Buffalo, Florida, whatever, because they didn't get off to the best start. They didn't take care of business against Detroit, whereas Detroit early on is being able to take this momentum and run with it. We will see power play and a top-heavy production from their top players could be kind of forcing this early on, and we could see your aggression. But man, this is probably the most excited I've been for the Red Wings and the most hype video I've put out for them since the start of the channel, and I just wanted to share what we're seeing early on because 7 games, 5 wins, only 1 regulation loss. Not too shabby there. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Detroit? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night, and you go love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.